Number 11 on the 49ers is back in the news. He sporadically puts out things on social media to remind people how dissatisfied he is and how nothing's really getting done. The Niners clearly don't want to trade their former first-round pick who went to Arizona State. But maybe if a team offered something interesting, they'd be enticed. What about Amari Cooper? He also is in the last year of his deal, wants an extension. Not looking for a 3, 4, 5-year extension, just a 2-year extension. He's 30 years old. He's really good, but also older and probably cheaper. What do you think? Trade number 11 for Amari Cooper and picks, whatever.
It would have to include some sort of pick.
Yeah, picks.
Third round, maybe. Amari Cooper is really good. I think Amari Cooper has been very underrated his whole career. This last year at 29, his yards per reception were nearly as high as Deebo Samuel's teammate. So I think he's a really good player. He's been a good player for a long time. He's just never been that superstar. It's almost as if you look at number 11 for the 49ers and you say, if this is the best he can give, you would expect that he gets better. Amari Cooper, you would have said that after year 1, year 2, and it just never really happened. He just stayed good, but the numbers never were elite. So I like Amari Cooper. I don't like 30-year-old receivers coming back in return.
Me neither.
If I was going to trade the first-round receiver from Arizona State, then I would probably trade him for a different position. I wouldn't trade him for just picks. Maybe an offensive lineman, maybe a defensive lineman. I think you've got to trust Ricky Pearsall. If you drafted a receiver round 1, you probably should trust that he can plug and play immediately. So I would trade number 11 for a completely different position. Tight end.
Okay, I like that too. If you could get an offensive tackle or really any offensive lineman, a center, that'd be great. But I feel like there are some wide receivers that are enticing. Amari Cooper being one, Terry McLaurin being another. I don't know if Terry McLaurin is necessarily available. It seems like Amari Cooper absolutely is. And it just seems like the Niners are in this conundrum where it's like, yeah, number 11 is great. But on the Niners offense, he's going to be capped in terms of how much of an impact he can actually make. And so is he worth $30 million? Yeah. Can the Niners make him worth that? Going to be hard. So why don't you trade the guy from Rockland for a wide receiver who can put up similar production for a cheaper rate? I mean, McLaurin, is he as good as number 11? Maybe not. He's a little older. Cooper, older. But they can absolutely replace number 11's production in this offense. No question.
For cheap. Cooper's definitely every bit as good. And I think McLaurin is too. They're just older players. But again, you drafted Ricky Pearsall. First of all, I don't think number 11 is going anywhere. I really don't. But trust your first round receiver that you just drafted if you're going to get rid of him. Like I said, tight end. I'll take a tight end in return. I'll take a corner. I'll take an offensive lineman, a defensive line. I mean, there's so many different positions that I would take. You don't need to take a receiver in return. So I think it's a fair trade if that's what you're asking, but I don't know.
Are you that confident in Ricky Pearsall?
I mean, I'm not, but I didn't draft him round 1. So
true. You didn't.
Right? I mean, 49er fans get mad when you make a claim on a player that you thought might be good, but then forget to hold the team accountable when they're the ones that spend all their assets on them. So you drafted him round 1, so play him round 1.
Yeah, I feel that. Look, if you could get a starting offensive lineman, you could argue that trade would make the Niners better, or at least not worse. Trading number 11, did I say his name?
No.
Thank God. For Cooper or McLaurin, I feel like the team wouldn't get worse. And like trading him for a pick, the team's getting worse. Now.
Team of the offseason.
Yeah.
Not getting worse.
Yeah. I mean, when you lose the Super Bowl, it's impossible to get any better. Dave Barclay says Flathead Lake and like 10 others north of that.
Maybe it's Flathead. I'm tired.
Sounds like a good lake.
Yeah, he's crystal clear.
Oh my God. MGM Production says, what are the ramifications if You know who shows up to training camp and balls. He almost got me there.
Yeah, he did. He
and
did.
balls out with the backups against the starters like Jimmy Butler did in Minnesota. Force the Niners' hand. There's in no world is who playing with the backups in camp. It's not going to happen.
He would obliterate all of them.
I mean, he would obliterate Diamador Lenore. No offense. The only guy who can really, we're going to talk about the only guy who can really cover him. Brother Bob says, Jess, it's cool. Kyle Levy's brain is late to Super Bowls in the second half.
Fair enough.
Paul Newland says, Pearsall Elite Decoy will be a motion machine.
Ooh, Juice might get a little upset.
Maybe that they can change the rules and let two people go in motion at the same time.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Jay Barclay says, this is awesome. How long can we say every other way to call the man that's extensive is a myth and he believes he's a legend? The guy with dreads, the guy that gets open for Niners, a lot of money. Yeah, the guy who gets open really well. The guy who's good against man coverage. The guy who blocks really hard. The guy whose name we've said way too much.